Welcome to True Off My Chest, where a mother cheats on her husband with her father. I was laughed at because of my period. Throwaway. Don't want this on Maine. Essel. I'm a new hire at my current company, and my period came early today at work. Because of that, I didn't have a pad. I decided to ask my female manager if she had any that I could borrow. She laughed at my face and told me it was dumb of me to ask her, since no one else would ever ask anyone else at work for a pad. Then she went back to doing her own business. I ended up having to use toilet paper as a mini pad until I could buy some. The company culture isn't very good already, but this experience just soured it a whole lot more. I don't know if I'm just overthinking things, but I feel there could have been a way nicer way to say that she didn't have a pad with her. Edit. Absolutely adore some of your comments. Thanks for making my day better. You're not overthinking things. Your manager's response was insensitive and unprofessional. It's understandable to feel disappointed and embarrassed by her reaction. She could have handled the situation with more empathy and kindness, even if she didn't have a pad to offer. It's important for colleagues to support each other, especially in such personal and sensitive situations. I accidentally committed a felony. Basically, yeah. I had surgery that had to be performed with partial anesthesia and received propofol fentanyl for sedation and relaxation. However, I didn't react all too well to propofol. Instead of sedating me, it made me talkative and euphoric with basically zero inhibitions. If you've ever taken Ambien, yes, it's sorta like that, but much stronger by far. Since I never really suffer total amnesia induced by substances, not even when I'm normally blackout drunk, I remember everything that happened. I even remember what I dreamed when I nodded off occasionally. I was talking ridiculously, exhibiting totally embarrassing behavior, and clapped at my surgeons and grabbed her chest. The memories slowly came back after the surgery, and I'm so embarrassed I could unalive myself. I feel disgusted by myself, like a predator, like a low-level human. I'm literally so ashamed that I just want to die. I asked the doctors if what I think happened really happened in the end, but they said I was asleep. I could tell from her gaze that she was lying in order for me to not feel embarrassed. I'm losing my mind. I wish I had still chosen general anesthesia instead of listening to the doctors and choosing partial anesthesia, because risking to die would have been much better than this embarrassing situation. Worst of all, I can't even apologize. Edit. For all those who say, you would have been restrained. I was absolutely restrained. With more drugs, but after a few minutes, I just woke up again and said ridiculous things again. Edit. 2. Thank you to all the people who helped me feel better. I just needed the input from outside to confirm to me that this can happen when under powerful drugs. You helped me a lot, and to all those people blaming me for it now, you are in a vulnerable and uncomfortable situation, and it's understandable that you feel embarrassed and disgusted by your behavior. It's important to remember that the effects of anesthesia can vary from person to person, and you couldn't have predicted how you would react. It's unfortunate that you couldn't apologize directly, but it's essential to focus on moving forward and learning from this experience. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, and it's important to be kind to yourself during this time. My husband told his friend to commit a felony. A couple of nights ago, my husband was on the phone with his friend. I don't know any details, but I know his friend is going through some things with his wife. We were lying in bed with our son when his friend called. He was listening for a bit and then he said, "If she keeps that up, you know what to do. You have to talk to some women with your fist." I was surprised to hear that, and I looked over at him. He told his friend to give him a minute because I was in the room. He gave me a kiss and told our son he'd be back and left the room to finish his conversation. I don't want to stress over it or cause issues, but it gave me a bad feeling. I don't understand encouraging violence, and my son didn't need to hear that. When he came back, I started to ask about it, but he shushed me and told me it has nothing to do with me. He told me not to worry about other people. I didn't press it, and I let it go. He doesn't hit me. He's a great husband to me, and I love him. Sometimes he raises his voice, but nobody is perfect, and we have a happy family. So I just don't understand it. You did the right thing by expressing your concerns and trying to understand the situation, but you could have communicated your feelings more effectively. It's important to have open and honest conversations with your partner about what makes you uncomfortable, especially when it involves discussing violence. You deserve respect and reassurance, and it's crucial to address any issues that may arise in a healthy manner. I dumped my boyfriend because of his smell. There's no way for me to say this without sounding like an utter butthole. At first, I thought I was imagining things when I'd smell fish. Not like salmon, I'm talking like a literal rotten fish smell. I did some research and realized that it's his acne. I feel terrible, but the smell makes me sick to my stomach. We tried antibiotics, skin treatments, dermatologists, etc., but the smell permeates, and I am physically nauseated. Sometimes the zits form around his mouth and burst in my mouth while we kiss. The pustules leak at night into pillowcases, and now the bed smells fishy as well. Sometimes I even wash the cases, and they still have a residual smell. Last night, he called asking me what he did wrong, and I told him the truth. I can't bear to lie about it, but either way, it makes me seem like such a piece of which I guess I am. You could have approached the situation with more empathy. While it's understandable that the smell makes you uncomfortable, it's important to consider your partner's feelings as well. Instead of bluntly telling him the truth, you could have expressed your concerns about his acne and suggested seeking further medical advice together. It's essential to be supportive and find a solution that works for both of you. I was laughed at because of my smell. Throw away because it's mad embarrassing for me. And please don't say something like just take a shower, because trust me, if it were that easy, this wouldn't be an issue. I don't know what it is, but even after a nice long shower or bath, I still stink and it won't go away. It's definitely not a hygiene thing, and I just don't know what to do anymore. Every day is a nightmare, and I have no one supporting me at all. So every day I have to go to work smelling like sewage, because if I don't, how the am I gonna pay my rent and bills? I can't even begin to explain how awful that is. I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I genuinely think about suicide on a daily basis, and I don't know how much longer I can continue like this. Does anyone know what might be causing this? I'm otherwise quite healthy. I eat well and exercise often, maybe a bit too skinny if anything. I'm a 28-year-old male. Edit, I just want to say thanks to everyone helping out and giving advice. I can't possibly respond to all of you, but I appreciate every one of you. Yes, other people have noticed the smell. It's definitely not an olfactory sensory disorder. I'm gonna try and see a doctor as soon as possible. Just don't know how soon that'll be. Was hoping for a quick fix, but realistically, there probably isn't one. It sounds like you're going through a really tough time, and I'm sorry to hear that. It's important to reach out to a professional who can provide the support and guidance you need. While I'm an AI and can't offer personal advice, I encourage you to consider talking to a doctor or therapist who can help you explore possible causes and solutions for your situation. Remember, you don't have to face this alone, and there are people who care and want to help. I was called creepy for being a woman. My niece left a grocery bag with a box of pads and some other stuff in my apartment last week. There's basically zero chance she's coming back within the next year. I'm a male, so the pads are useless. My girlfriend doesn't want them. I didn't ask why. So I just brought them to work, thinking either someone from staff or a client might need them. I chucked them in the staff restroom and forgot about it. A coworker asks a room of people whose they are, and I just say they're spares. She's like, "Did you bring them?" I respond, "Yes," said they're spares. She said something like, "That's really creepy," and I got kind of upset. I had a good excuse to leave, so I just said no and walked away, mostly so I wouldn't say anything unprofessional. I asked my boss's HR to basically just let her know that was unacceptable. I had no modesty concerns whatsoever about handling a package of sanitation products until she made that comment, and now I feel like I'm on the back foot, having to defend myself against implicit accusations of being an intimacy pest. They acted like they knew where I was coming from, but have said and done nothing, and I'm getting weird looks and catty comments from two people in particular. Most of the staff hasn't said anything one way or the other. I'm willing to leave this job over this. It's a small company of less than 15 employees. It shouldn't make me so mad, but I just feel like this is so plainly ridiculous on its face, and it feels malicious. Like I can't accept that anyone is this stupid. I'd feel better if people were vocal about this being unhinged, but either they're just trying not to gossip, or worst case scenario, they also think I'm weird and just aren't being shitty about it. I don't know. You could have handled the situation better. Instead of immediately getting upset and asking your boss's HR to intervene, it would have been more productive to calmly address the issue with your coworker, explaining your intention to help others in need and clarifying that you had no ill intentions could have resolved the misunderstanding. Jumping to conclusions and assuming malicious intent from your colleagues might not be fair. It's important to communicate openly and seek understanding rather than jumping to extreme measures like leaving your job.
Thank you for watching. I hope these stories brought you the relaxation you came here for, whether you're winding down or just starting your day. If you have any thoughts or ideas for my next stream, drop them down in the comments and let me know if you like these stories by dropping a like. Also, follow me on my social media because I drop Reddit content every day.